Should the minimum wage be increased in Arizona, that will be up to voters in November.
Now your side's Whitney Clark explains what both sides are saying about Proposition 206.
For fast food worker Kathy Ortega, missing one day of work means her family may go without.
That $50 or that $60 I make in that one day keeps my light on, keeps my gas on.
Ortega has been outspoken about fair wages for years, now vocal about her support for Proposition 206.
Could barely make it on minimum wage what Arizona gives you, which is $8.05. Right now I make $9.50, and it's just barely giving me enough change in my pocket to pay for like the bus rides.
If it's passed, Proposition 206 would raise minimum wage in Arizona from $8.05 per hour to $12 an hour by 2020. Minimum wage would go up $10 an hour in January, then increase 50 cents a year for 4 years. The measure would also guarantee paid sick time, 1 hour for every 30 hours worked, meaning a 30-hour per week employee would get about 7 sick days per year, with some specifics depending on the size of the business.
Any way to raise people out of poverty is going to be good for the whole family, including children.
Dr. Eve Shapiro has been a pediatrician in Tucson for 30 years and says parents need to be able to take sick days for themselves and their kids.
When people are sick, they should be staying home. Plus, it's a public health issue. I mean, if a kid goes to school sick, they make other people sick, and that impacts everybody.
However, Proposition 206 has its fair share of opponents who fear a negative impact on businesses. The Tucson Chamber of Commerce is opposed to the measure. If the minimum wage is increased, opponents worry businesses won't be prepared to increase wages in January. A spokesperson for the chamber says, while many people think of large corporations who will have to pay more, it is the local, small, family-run and operated business down the street who will be most impacted by this. Rocco DeGrazia owns one of those small businesses on Grant Avenue in Tucson. He does all he can for his employees, offering more than minimum wage for years.
I have people working here, probably more than half a dozen have been here over 10 years. So we're doing something right, and people like to stick around. So
DeGrazia knows every business is different and doesn't think there should be hard and fast rules for all of them to follow.
I know that if these increases came 10 years ago, I would have closed it. I would not have been able to weather the storm, that's for sure.
The future of minimum wage, ultimately in the hands of Arizona voters. Whitney Clark, KGUN-9, on your side.